Hello, happy last 87 minutes of Sunday, May 21st. Welcome back to the Sci-Fi Center Live. It seems like we were just with each other 24 hours ago because we were just with each other 24 hours ago. Welcome to the Semi-Overnighter. Semi-Overnighter, the difference between those, Midnight Express, and our full-on overnight shows is this is kind of in between. It's not a very quick show, but it's not a very long show at all, and it does pretty much extend. We'll probably be here till midnight answering questions and stuff, depending on how a lot of it depends on how you guys go. So, 24 hours from now, I will have seen a movie that I have been waiting to see for a very, very long time now. That I wish had come out earlier. That I wish was emblematic of the way the DCEU had been handled, and that's the Flash. I missed out on seeing it at CinemaCon because I wasn't going to pay $1,300 just to see one movie and go to a bunch of events that I had no use for. But I am, like I said, I am fortunate enough to be seeing it considerably sooner than June 16th. I mean, I will be seeing it, which is tomorrow, May 22nd, me and 50 other people, and then we have screenings that we'll be hosting throughout the week before it actually gets released. So I'll see it tomorrow, and then I will be. Hold on. I will be distributing stuff through the store, through locals and stuff like that. So don't know quite exactly what we're going to be giving away. I hope it's cool. So hopefully it's like I said. I hope it meets what this movie has been presented as. Like I said, the difference between Black Adam and Suicide Squad and Harley Quinn and all these other movies is that this is an event level movie. So and it's being treated that way, and it's the critics are. I have heard nothing bad about it, so who knows? So I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. Hello, Glimmering Harpy. Yes, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel as well. Like I said, I'm on pace to reach to be monetized by age 78. So about 30 years from now, and I'm okay with that. Listen, there are things I could do to expedite myself to a whole bunch of viewers, and some of those things I'm just not going to do. Others, things I can do, like I said, changing the setup design, changing the production value. I got a lot of, I'm not a drop kind of guy, but I do have more video enhancements that I've loaded up. I do have sponsors. Believe it or not, even though I'm not monetized, I do have sponsors who do pay for, ad space on our channel. So we'll be adding a lot of that in there. A lot of the stuff that'll be building viewers for me will be short content that's focused on comic book reviews, like tomorrow night movie reviews. I will be at AEW's Double or Nothing this Sunday. I will be giving it a review from T-Mobile Stadium. So things like that are 5, 10, 20-minute content type of stuff that those are the kind of things that'll drive viewership. But right now, as a live stream type of thing, there's a couple of different ways you can really boost up your numbers, and they're just things that I just don't want to do. I think you guys can know what those things are. So hit the like button. Yeah, sure, whatever. Listen, the Golden Knights are a Pacific Division rival, so it's in my blood to really just not like them. But they got rid of another Pacific Division rival, which was the scumbag Edmonton Oilers. So you know what? Hey, go ahead and win your cup if you can. How you doing, Nighthawk? Chappie, what's going on? Good to hear from you the other day, Vince, on the other stream. Thank you. Yes, as being associated with the Sci-Fi Center, you will be there with me. All right. Yes, I am. We used to show a lot of Grindhouse movies and a lot of independent Grindhouse movies. I'm big into Grindhouse. Even both the original stuff that came out in the 70s and then the revitalized stuff that that is made in the van. So yeah, I'm big into Grindhouse movies. The only DC films I'm looking forward to this year is The Flash and Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle is just something I'll see because I just might be there for it. I have no expectations or anticipations for Blue Beetle. It's just I will go see it once it comes out or if we're promoting it. If we're not promoting it, I'll probably skip Blue Beetle. But The Flash is a must see for me. The Flash, and then like I said, I'll go see Aquaman. I mean I hear a lot of people tell me it's the worst thing ever, but as if the original Aquaman was the greatest thing ever, and it made $1 billion. So. Hey William, are you going to watch Evil? When are you? I don't know, dude. It's still in the theaters too, isn't it? I'd probably be a dumbass and end up watching it once it hits streaming. I didn't see Shazam because I wasn't that or Black Adam. Yeah, well, a lot of people were. I mean, like I said, it's they're lower tiered C level characters that had they put expectations on as if they were Superman, and Shazam is not Superman. Black Adam is not Superman. Those characters are not on that level, and they don't trigger the general public to go see them in that manner. Yeah, I like the first. I like both Shazam movies. As a matter of fact, I just didn't think either one of them should have been made before you had a Batman and Superman plan out there. The Dark Knight. Hey William, Star Trek update. Finished Picard, and I loved all 3 seasons. Now I'm in Strange New Worlds, almost done with season 1. Strange New Worlds is excellent. The last episode was my favorite of the whole series. Picard seasons 1 and 2. I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed them. Season 3 was probably some of the best Star Trek they've ever done. How you doing, Jacob? Chappie, thoughts on Blade Trinity? Personally, nowhere near as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. It's a fun movie, but it's really bad. It's like a bad video, a rock video from that era. What did you think of the video clip I messaged you? You got a chance to watch it? No, I have not. You're talking about the one that you edited? I watched a little bit of it. I haven't had a chance to watch it all, though. But I do have it. I will watch it tonight. I will probably watch it after this. So seeing The Flash tomorrow, I'm guessing you can't share your thoughts. Yeah, according to my WB associate, I think the embargo, when did he say the embargo gets released? Hold on. He gave me an exact date. And it's gonna suck because I really want to talk to you guys about this movie once I see it. I don't know if I know I can hold it in, but it's gonna suck doing it. I can only imagine what the people who saw it at CinemaCon have been going through. Review embargo lifts Wednesday, June 14th at to be announced time. So I don't. Okay, so I can come out and I think it's great. I guess I don't know if I can say it's great. I mean, I don't know. I got to get specifics on exactly what I can say because like I said, I'm going to be on the air tomorrow night. I'm going to, I want to give it a review from the theater, but I can't. So I gotta find out exactly what I can say, and I'll let you guys know. William, thoughts on Super Mario Brothers movie surpassed Incredibles and is now the third highest grossing animated movie of all time. Ooh, it was 11th a couple of weeks ago. That's good, like I said. Mario Brothers should draw that kind of money. Everybody. It's 40 years of history building with Mario Brothers, so that's good to hear. Yeah, I guess I could come out if it's brilliant. I can go out and say, "Hey, this is a brilliant movie. You need to see it." I guess I could give that kind of review. Creator. Was that the one with Virginia Madsen in it? If we're talking about the same movie, is that the one? Because I saw that like in the 80s. I literally saw that in the 80s. No, that's you talking. Okay. The creator I'm talking about is a 1985 movie with Peter O'Toole, Vincent Spano, and Virginia Madsen. Yeah, you're talking about the creator that has come out in 2023. It's upcoming. All right, the creator is an upcoming American science fiction action thriller filmed and directed a film directed by Gareth Edwards from a screenplay written by Edwards and Chris Weitz, and a story from Edwards. The film stars John David Washington. Okay, all right, you already got me there. Gemma Chan, Ken Watanabe. Ooh, wow. Anderson Janney, Academy Award winner. Oh, and it's a 20th Century Fox, so I don't know if I'm going to get sounds good. Okay, premise. A mid-feature war between the human race and the force of artificial intelligence. Ooh, that's on the nose. Joshua, a hardened ex-Special Forces agent, grieving the disappearance of his wife, is recruited to hunt down and kill the creator. An elusive architect of advanced AI. Wow, man, this is like the perfect time for this movie. Who has developed a mysterious weapon with the power to end the war and humankind itself. All right, I'm in. It's got a good cast. It's science fiction. This is right down my alley. I wasn't too much aware. I had heard about it in the back of my head, but I'd never brought it up like this. But I'm in. September. It's not that far away. I'll be there. I hope we get to promote it. So my thoughts on that is now that I'm looking forward to that, and especially like right now where everybody, losing their minds over AI and the stuff we should have been scared for since Terminator, we're finally being afraid of. So it's hilarious. But yeah, I'll be there for it. Thoughts on James Gunn on running the DCU? He says, let's see. I don't know if you are some of the stuff he said today. Are you talking about a specific article, Jacob? Give me some clarification there. Yeah, it's on demand though, right? I don't know if I want to pay $20 for it because I'm going to be watching it by myself. I don't think. I mean, $20 is when you're watching with a bunch of people. If I just watch it here at the house, if it's still in the theater, I'd rather go ahead and see it in the theater. If I'm going to pay and have the full on experience. But if I can't see it in the theater, I'll just wait. It'll be on streaming. It'll be on just regular streaming movie. Yes, I am. Yes, I'm ready. I've been ready for a long time. Like I said, it's this is the movie that I think is going to, whether people want to admit it or not, the Flash. If this is, like I said, this is where the test to me, and I don't care about fanboy logic. I don't care about pundits and other YouTubers' opinions about the Snyderverse. I don't care. All right. I can respect your vision, but it means nothing to me. So whenever somebody says the Snyderverse is dead, all that, you're the oxygen you used, you just wasted that on me. Don't care. What I do care about, if these Snyder connected characters resonate with fans and on a financial basis, will business be done? Because it's one thing for fans to say stupid stuff. A lot of fans, all we do is we'll go on a show, we'll hear somebody say some stuff, and then we'll basically repeat it. That's all we do. All right, but for somebody who has skin in the game, like a producer or an investor or stockholders or stock share or chairman of the boards, those guys are gonna have to answer a different question that fanboy logic does not apply. If something that they just did made a lot of money, and there's a sense that more money can be made, what do we do? And I don't know what the answer to that is. I will lose respect for all involved if the question is not even at least brought up. Whatever they end up answering and coming to and all that's one thing. But if they don't at least take a look at this data and at least have a conversation about it, whether they decide to do it or not, if there's not an internal conversation about, wow, how can we exploit this, then I will lose a lot of faith and respect for them. And to be honest with you, I will start feeling like we're going to be back at the drawing board with brand new names and brand new, titles here or behind those names in about 3 years. So it's going to be an interesting question. Like I said, last night we were having a conversation when I was on with Mad Max and everything else. And like I said, we get the usual Snyder versus dead guy. For people who have $0 in the game. For people who have zero financial investment in Warner Brothers Discovery, for them to say the Snyderverse is dead is meaningless. Now, it's what David Zaslav says. It's what James Gunn responds to. It's what the let's bring up his name here because there's really name that you guys not a lot of people are going to bring up because they don't know who he is. So we obviously know who David Zaslav is, but there are key people involved in there that are part of the decision making. Okay, so let's say Samuel D. Piazza actually. He's the chairman of the board. Now, when you're the chairman of the board, you're the guy who calls votes. You're the guy who empowers the Zaslavs. So I want to hear. I'll probably never hear from him, but I'm wondering what his response. If the Flash does bonkers and people are clamoring for more Sasha K or more Ezra, controversies be damned, or Fossil Batman, or Ben Affleck. I want to hear what because these guys aren't fanboys. These guys aren't given to saying stupid stuff and repeating stupid stuff in chat rooms. These guys actually have careers on the line, have millions on the line when it comes to this. So it's going to be interesting to see what the next move is on their part. Not a fanboy saying so-and-so is dead and reboot everything. Like I said, saying that stuff is as easily as farting and it has the same value. No money in the game. But for the CEO of Warner Brothers, for the chairman of the board, for all those heavy hitters who own all that stock, and all those people who were given 70% of the company as a buy-in to Warner Brothers Discovery, the new company, I want to hear what I'm curious to be a fly on the wall to what their response is. Because like I said, the Flash money is going to be a pile of money sitting in front of them. They can see that. They can pretty much touch that. This other money, with the writer strike, we may even be talking about 2026, depending on how long this writer strike happens. So while I'm not saying that not go forward with James Gunn's slate and what he's doing, I'm just wondering if people whose job it is to move and make and increase money are going to react like people whose job it is to make and move and increase money are supposed to. Are they going to react like fanboys? There's a reason why we fans don't run corporations. There's a reason why we fans don't have millions of shares in anything. So I'm interested to see what their reaction is going to be. So, all right, damn, okay. What up, 0123? She just gives you the first four numbers. She's like, I'm not typing her whole name. Shazam had a very funny product placement scene. Had a couple of them. Thank you. I don't know if you're coming or going. Evil Dead Rises. Okay, it doesn't move the needle. The movie just sets up for familiar tropes: broomstick, chainsaw, ash catchphrases. I heard all that, but I heard it in a positive way. That's pretty much what the people wanted. It looks good. I mean, I've only seen previews and stuff like that. But sometimes the familiar tropes are enough for people. I'll have to see it. I'll give you a review once I see it. I'm really late to the game on that one. William thought on Harrison Ford says he hadn't been fully sympathetic to the idea of the aging Indiana Jones. Dial of Destiny. But when I saw the product, I was convinced it was so real. It was real. It's that is my face. I can understand that. Being 80 years old and seeing a younger version of yourself that you just put that work into, that's kind of creepy, actually. But once again, when he saw it, and hey, there you go. Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be great. I wonder if they're going to take our phones. Because remember, there are end-credit scenes and stuff in here that we're not at CinemaCon. So I know one of my buddies who was at CinemaCon is going to be with us tomorrow night. So even if there are end credits and mid credit scenes, he hasn't seen them. So I wonder if they're going to take our phones to keep us from pirating and doing all the stupid stuff, or will they spread the word and be like, you know what, we're going to leak this stuff. like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited to have. I've been excited for the Flash for a long time, but when I saw the Super Bowl spot and the conversation around it was the conversation that I've been wanting to have around DC for years now. So I hope we get to that point. All right, Jacob Williams, Donald Christopher Nolan says Oppenheimer is the longest film yet. It's kid. Yeah, I have no doubt that Oppenheimer is going to be that long. This is the first Christopher Nolan film I'm actually looking forward to seeing, and I'm actually looking forward to promoting. However, the problem that I've always had, one of the chief problems that I've always had with Christopher Nolan, is the pacing of his movies. This is a historical drama. I think at 3 hours, it runs the risk of pacing me out of it. Now, maybe not, because I can watch The Godfather no problem without speeding, stopping, complete 3 hour, 20 minutes. I can watch it. I can watch Blade Runner 2049 over and over again at 2 hours and 45 minutes. I can watch Watchmen without no problems. So if the movie is really good and the pacing is there, I'm in. So it being 3 hours doesn't necessarily kill it. It has killed it for me, but he's lost me on movies that are shorter than that. He lost me with Tenet, and Tenet's not a 3 hour movie. He lost me with Batman Begins, and that's not a 3 hour movie. It's just the pace of his action and the way he makes his movies. It just doesn't do anything for me. And I know a lot of people like him, but, Dunkirk was different. Dunkirk did it for me with him. And, I hope, was that Dunkirk him or 1917? Now I get I know Hans Zimmer did both scores. Yeah, Dunkirk was when he was nominated for that one. Probably should have won for that. But yeah, but as far as the large body of his movies, it's like a James Gunn DCU. I'm so excited for he cares about the filmmaker's vision. I'm looking forward to it, not only because that I get the sense when he talks and the verbiage that he uses, he understands the importance of the IP. There are certain things that about comic book lore that only us geeks can understand. Now, being a director and a writer, he can take it up a notch because not only does he understand the lore, he can translate that lore into the everyman. He can. I got the feeling, judging from what I've seen, especially with the Suicide Squad, that he's going to be able to take the things that make us happy about what we read, and he's going to be able to transfer that over to the motion pictures. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to do because for the first time, other than Jim Lee, and Jim Lee never had this type of position, I feel like there's somebody at that level that understands what these stories mean to fans, but understands the business of movie making at the same time. So I am, and once again, he is going to care about the filmmaker's vision because he's been there, done that. So all the above. I'm looking forward to James Gunn. Yeah, I mean they're making a lot of screenings available, so I'm happy everybody will be able to see it. And then we might have to put like a private chat for you guys that are seeing it with us tomorrow and that are seeing it on the 22nd throughout whatever. We may have to have a private chat somewhere where we're talking because I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold it in. William, thought on Nicolas Cage has been cast in The Surfer, a psychological thriller that follows a man who returns to his hometown in Australia and takes on local gang of surfers. Not the biggest Nicolas Cage fan, but sounds intriguing. He seems to be putting a little bit more thought into his roles that he picks lately. I did not get a chance to see Renfield, but I heard he's excellent in it. So like I said, I don't hate Nicolas Cage's works. I do think his best movie is City of Angels, which I love that movie for several different reasons, and I think it's one of his most underrated performances. But Leaving Las Vegas, he won the Oscar for that, and I just didn't feel it. And he lives here in Vegas. I've actually met him, so it's pretty cool. William, can you play the Oppenheimer Godzilla trailer? It's the one with all the death and destruction, not the action movie. It's with the no, I cannot. I think you sent it to me. So you sent it to me, and I sent it to our what was it? Our I think it was my Warner rep that handles Godzilla stuff for me. And because it's not I don't think it's an official trailer. I don't think I can play it without getting a mark. I don't. I saw it though, and yeah, it is. Yeah, I agree with you there. How you doing, Anthony Manzano? Also, plus Jason Cabill, Ryan Reynolds are in it, but people forget. If it wasn't for Blade Trinity, then we would have never got Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. That's what got him the role. Wow, I don't know about that, but. I have never been a big Ryan Reynolds fan. Don't hate him. I don't hate him. I just his movies that he's usually in. I just don't gravitate towards those movies, and I'm not a big fan of Deadpool. I'm not just the movies. I'm not a big fan of the character. I think the character's stupid. I remember when Rob Liefeld put him out there, and I thought he was stupid then. And then when he added the fourth wall, I'm like, this is stupid. He's just one of those comic book characters that I just never made the connection with. And then it just that non-connection extended over into the movies. And I Deadpool is the only comic book movie that I've seen them all, but I never saw them in the theater. I just never thought it was worth it to see a Deadpool movie. And guess what? This next one, unless we're promoting it, probably not going to see that one in the theater either. All right. Yeah, and there's superheroes in it, and there's bad. Yeah, I can say the obvious, and I'm pretty sure I can say how we feel about it. But I just I don't think I can give a review. I think I can come out of the theater and say this is great. I recommend that you see it, and I think that's what they're going to want. Hi, Aaron. Hey, next time you're here, Rhea, we're gonna have to get you a shirt that says "person / turquoise / waving." I want to see you in that shirt. That'd be great. Do you think Gun Superman is going to be overly tender like Marvel Systems? No. No, I think Gun Superman is going to be a composite of a lot of different Supermans, including Cavill. I think he is going to take what he thinks has worked throughout the years and use that. And I think what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to appeal to because Superman has a multi-generational following. And I think what his goal is to appeal to those multi-generations. So I think we're going to see, from what I've heard him say, a little bit of every Superman that we've seen, even going back to George Reeves. I think he's going to give him that legendary feel, which I'm looking forward to. But no, his other films are. I don't think any of his other films can be used as a comparison to what we're about to see because of what the mission is different. What is being asked of James Gunn here is completely different than what has ever been asked for him before. These aren't throwaway characters. These aren't no-name characters. These are characters with a lineage. And he knows that lineage. Like I said, he's a comic book guy, so he knows that lineage. So I think we're going to see a composite character of things that have meant different things to people throughout generations. Well, I've thought on the Lakers and Lakers going to Cancun. Both teams are 0-3. For the Celtics, it's devastating. For the Celtics, it could get that coach fired, even though he's only been there a year. For the Celtics, it's devastating. Even though I think Jimmy Butler is the real deal. We faced him in the finals. He has nothing to prove to me, and I think the Miami Heat, I'm going to say it right now, I think they're your NBA champions this year. They are balanced. He didn't even have a great game tonight, but there's such a balance to that team. And Eric Spoelstra flies under the radar, even though he's been to 5 NBA titles. He's won 2 of them. And he has one of the best basketball minds. He definitely has the best basketball mind of anybody left in the playoffs. And he just gets it done with pieces. And Jimmy Butler, he just knows the game. He has a strategy for everything. He has a counter for everything. It's actually a joy to watch him coach. All that being said, Boston with 57 wins and 25 losses, losing in this round and being possibly swept out. That's devastating, especially for your that's your reigning conference championship. They went to the finals last year. Now, when it comes to the Lakers, I bleed purple and gold. This is a part of the when it comes to sports to me where I had a spot prepared to put a hole in the wall. Then I realized that I already had that spot ready earlier in the season when the season was pretty much lost. We came into the season pretty much people laughing at us because we had Westbrook. None of the pieces on the roster fit. We were way over the cap. Nobody was going to trade Westbrook off of our roster, so we were stuck with him. They spent 80% of the season with Westbrook, and then we paid him $47 million to come off the bench. And nothing against Westbrook. He did what he could. He played his ass off, but it just wasn't a fit, and we gave up a lot of good players to get him. So we were 13th or 14th place, picked to finish dead last in the Western Conference, going nowhere. And not only that, we were going to have to wait until Russell Westbrook's contract just lifted off the books, and then we would have gotten nothing for him. What ended up happening was something I had no expectation for. They ended up trading and transforming the team and getting a whole bunch of players that I think are going to be Lakers for a while. They also got players. Now, when they made those trades and they got Rui Hachimura and they got D'Angelo Russell, they got all these, Mo Bamba, all these players like that. I'm like, okay, maybe we can make a push for the playoffs. And if we don't make the playoffs, at least we have the team that we got to have going forward. We don't have to go over the summer worrying about Kyrie and his $1 billion contract eating up all the salary or wondering who's going to be on our team next year. We can go into training camp, win 50 or 60 games, and we'll be right. I was not expecting this run. I when they got into the playoffs and got in the playing game, I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. But this is house money. They beat Minnesota. They got into the first round. They beat Memphis. I'm like, okay, maybe we have something here. But at no point in time did I ever, grasp the reality of them being NBA champions this year because there was just so much rubble on top of this team. So to be 13th place, to be pretty much a laughingstock for the most of the year, to being one of the last Final Four teams of all 32 playing, all those teams had better years. I can't really say this is a failure. Sure, the immediate moment I'm disappointed because you always want to win every time out, but given where this season was going all the way up until late February, season was a disaster. And where it is now, and it's May 22nd, and in 55 minutes, it'll be May 22nd. I had no expectations for this team to be playing this deep. 0-3 or not. Because this team has only been together was 26 games before they made their playoff run. They're facing teams that have been together. Memphis has been together years. Denver has been together years. This is the same Denver team that we faced in the conference finals 3 years ago. The Heat, all these teams have been together years, and here we are with a patchwork team, and I think they were gassed. I think they spent a lot of energy just getting to the playoffs. And like I said, this season for the Lakers is a success. For the Boston Celtics, it's a disaster. There's nothing to build on with the Celtics. There's going to be some people that lose their jobs and get traded away. Whereas the Lakers, I think the biggest free agents the Lakers can pick up this year are playing time together, going into training camp together, having a full season under your wing, So, of the two 0-3 teams, I think Boston's in a lot more trouble than the Lakers are. I did play the trailer for Creator, turn the sound off. Creator is Fox, right? It's 2023. Creator. Let's see. I don't think we're going to get knocked off for playing this, so I'm going to go ahead and play it. Hold on. Because Fox is Disney, and Fox generally doesn't have an issue with playing it. If you get demonetized or whatever, it's not like you're making $1 billion anyway, so hold on. Share screen.
What's heaven?
It's a peaceful place in the sky.
Are you going to heaven?
No.
Why not?
You gotta be a good person to go to heaven.
10 years ago today, the artificial intelligence created to protect us detonated a nuclear warhead in Los Angeles. For as long as AI is a threat, we will never stop hunting them. This is a fight for our very existence.
Whatever's in there, they're sure worried about someone getting in.
Yeah, we're getting out.
Come back to you. We're the same. We can't go to heaven because you're not good. And I'm not a person.
Did you locate the weapon?
Yeah, it's a kid.
Seatbelts.
What do you want with the child?
We are this close to winning the war. Execute her, or we go extinct.
They're coming to get me.
All right, we might get in trouble for that because of the music, but other than that, so this part of it disappears, and that's why. That looks like what Westworld season 4 should have been, and a little bit mixed with Terminator. I'm getting Skynet vibes, but on a much higher level. There seems to be a philosophical argument to be made here, so it's going to be a mix for a good movie. So I'm looking forward to it even more now. William, why do you think the Fast and the Furious franchises in general struggles domestically with the box office, but they make out like gangbusters roll? Because I think when it comes to American audiences, sometimes we're looking for different things at a certain point. Whereas in some places in the world, they just want to watch fast cars. They want to see. And listen, the Fast and the Furious franchise gives you everything that a lot of foreign moviegoers just really like: hot chicks, fast cars, and stuff blowing up. That used to be an American recipe for making a lot of money. Some of the stuff that they do in the Fast and Furious franchise has gone completely batty, and maybe that might be a reason why American artists are like, yeah, that's a little bit on the silly side. Whereas you go to China, you go to Italy. I mean, you just want to see the hot women. They want to see the hot guys. You know, you got several MILF magnets in the Fast and Furious franchise and stuff blowing up. Guys and gals love that. I just think it appeals to the basic moviegoer over there that, you know, a lot of these places, you know, they have their movies. China has their movies being made now that we're committing with, and it's just different. You know, I think we're a little bit numb to it, but they aren't. So it's different audiences. That's good. I remember what they spent $20 million on that. So yeah, somebody's getting promoted. I read that, and to be honest with you, it's the same reason Ridley Scott does it. It's the same reason why Joel Schumacher, anybody does these things. It is what you do. It is that is you don't, you know, if health is willing and you can still, you know, have the cognitive senses about you to do what you love doing, never stop. Never stop. All right. And until you are taken off this planet, and if there's something you can physically do it, Now, I'm not saying like boxing or something like that, but if it's something like directing, creating, imagination, stuff like that, I say do it, to a job. Now, I only read a portion of what he said, but like I said, his mirror. When I hear people like Francis Ford Coppola is in his 80s, still making movies. It's just what they do. It's who they are. I don't think you ever not become what you are. Is it because the genre movies are popular in the United States and why Fast and Furious franchise struggles with? Okay, like I said, I pretty much answered that one. But yeah, I just think it appeals. If you've ever had the chance to go to other countries, especially Europe, we're seeing differently from that point of view. Other countries look at America and it's action, it's blowing stuff up, it's stuff that it appeals to them. They like that. We live here and we just take our action for granted because we grew up with it. But when you export that, we do action, to be honest with you, better than most. So they like it. Yes. There's another T-shirt I want you to the face, feature, tongue out. I want that, not the emoji. Not the emoji. I just want the words across the shirt. Yeah. I thought of Christopher Nolan says, I think any character I've dealt with, Oppenheimer is by far the most ambiguous and paradoxical, which given what I've made, the three Batman movies, saying a lot. I don't know how paradoxical he can be. Oppenheimer is who he is. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Aaron Pritchard, with the writers' actor strike, do you think that both pro wrestling and reality TV will thrive during it? Maybe. And I know they benefited last time. I think reality TV, it's not as new and niche as it was back in 08, 09. We've had Naked and Afraid, we've had the Kardashians, we've had all this stuff. I don't know where we're gonna go. I don't know if we're gonna go to reality TV as much because, like I said, that's just like the homemaking stuff like that. But like the drama stuff, I don't know if the market for that is there as much. But then again, I could be wrong. Evil Dead Rise is worth the theater experience, in my opinion. Okay. William Donald Fast X or 319 million. The films were right. That's a lot of money. Like I said, I don't know what the we were talking about this today. I don't know what the expectations. Hold on. I hope it did because we promoted that movie, and I always like to see movies I promote do well because that means we get cooler stuff for the next one. Fast X reach its goals. All right, Fast X box office target 60 million domestic, 280. It reached its goal. This is 4 days ago. So yeah, they did it. They did it. Kudos. Especially after that last one. That last one was quite ridiculous. So congratulations, Fast X people. Well, yeah, Donald Leonardo DiCaprio says Martin Scorsese has been able to define himself as a singular director of all time. I 100% agree. Now, does that make him the best director of our time? No, but he is. Scorsese movies, it's like a brand. I know what I'm getting. I know how I'm getting it, and I like it. I love Martin Scorsese's movies. He's continuing to make these incredible movies that tell important stories like Killers of the Flower Moon. I don't know a lot about that. A lot of people have asked me about that, but if it's a Scorsese movie, I'm going to go see it. It's just what I'm going to do. Just like Denny Villeneuve. Listen, Denny Villeneuve could make The Golden Girls the movie. Denny V could come out and say, I'm going to make Golden Girls the movie, and I'm going to get Hans Zimmer to score it. And guess what? As silly as I think that is, I'm going to be there on day one. Certain directors have just proven to me that they are speaking to me in the language I want to watch, hear, and see movies in. Jake, not every market is open yet in terms of Fast and Furious, so that's a partial worldwide market for the Fast. Yeah, we'll know later on. That's even better because if they met that goal, they already met their worldwide goal. And we'd have yeah, you're right. It still has markets to open in. William Across the Spider-Verse has been rated PG for frantic sequences of animated action, violence, some language, and thematic elements. Yeah, that's about right. If it's along the themes of the last one, there was a lot of deep stuff in the Into the Spider-Verse. I mean, we literally dealt with Spider-Man being killed. We dealt with relationship stuff. We dealt with violence. I mean, it was as violent as any, and it was not graphic violence, but it's it's intense. It's it's a PG movie, so I think that's right, and I don't think that'll hurt it at all. Wow, you got Jacob. Damn, maybe I should just have you interview me one day. Well, thought on Joaquin Phoenix will star in Tony's next film describes a love story between two men in their 30s. I think he'll knock it out of the park. He's one of the best actors of our generation. Thought on Natalie Portman on reprising her role as Padme. No one's ever asked me to return, but I'm open to it. Yeah, any actor is going to say yeah to a role, especially a role that made them a lot of money like that. I don't know if we'll ever see her again. No, the story, we need to get away from the Skywalkers. We need to get away from this neighborhood sooner than later. Ghostly Visitor, how you doing? I love your avatar, by the way. You're better not. No, I would never. To be honest with you, and everybody who's going to see it tomorrow, please don't spoil it for your fellow geek. Let them feel the exact same feeling that you're going to feel tomorrow. They're only going to get one chance at that. There's only one first time to experience this stuff. Don't ruin it for people. If I like the movie, I'm going to tell you it's a great movie. I think you see it. But if there's stuff in there that I think is, like that, it's going to be a couple of weeks before I even tell you. I mean, we're a while. We're like 3.5 weeks away from the movie. We're a while away from the movie. It's going to take everything I have not to slip up. But I'm going to do that because I think that I hate when people spoil stuff for people. Like it's different if it's an end credit screen that the company released, like Sony. Damn well Sony leaked that Spider-Man footage. They didn't care. They wanted you to see that movie. They torched Venom too, so that they could get you that end credit scene. So stuff like that is different because that's going to be distributed. But like things that happen in the movie thematically, I will not be the one to ruin it for you. And I hope our fellow geeks do you that same courtesy. JR Server, Donnie Yen just announced IP Man 5. IP Man 4 ends with him dying. Honestly, I thought about all the Snyderverse, all the flashback stuff you've been saying when I heard that. Yeah. I mean, it's the potential's there, guys. Rumor. Damon Lindelof. He needs to make Watchmen season 2. Lost, Watchmen, The Leftovers will be an executive producer on HBO Max Lantern series, and Tom King. If he is, that's great. Because everybody's got mixed feelings about Tom King. I love Tom King's storytelling. And I have nothing but high regard. If you have not watched the Watchmen series for HBO, Lost, it's a mixed bag for me. I hated that show's second half. I hated the way it ended. I thought it was an insult to their fans. But hey, Leftovers is actually really good. For as short as it was only a 3-season show. Leftovers was actually, and it's the last episode of Leftovers is really good. If you haven't had a chance, Watchmen is the best thing I've ever seen him do. Watchmen had so many things that could have gone wrong, and it goes so right. Watchmen is great. So if he's an executive producer, I hope he does some writing too. That's good news. I hope that rumor is true. Jacobs, that rumor. Mike Flanagan is set to write and direct Clay Pavilion. Don't know about that. I'm sure they will. It's do the writers want. What kind of see when I hear some of the rhetoric coming from the studios, I'm worried about what a compromise. And like I said, the Writers Guild and everybody else has to be real careful because this is a very important strike. This strike doesn't just mean things for the Writers Guild and the Directors Guild and the DGA and all these guys. It will set a legal precedent for a lot of things that have to do with us all. AI has to do with us all. What can we do on YouTube as far as AI and intellectual properties? These are things that are going to be settled here, or the precedent is going to be set here. Whether we're writers or not, the precedent on how these things are used it's going to go a long way, and what kind of agreements that these guys come to. So I haven't heard the details of any compromise, but like I said, we could be in for a long strike. It's just it may be a necessity that we take as long as we need to get this worked out. So, but however, Netflix is getting in the way as a deal benefiting the writers would force them to make fundamental changes in the entire corporation structure. Not just Netflix, every streamer. Every streamer. Vince, fourth, Evil Dead needs to go back to medieval times, but keep it serious. I don't know, man. Army in the Darkness is kind of weird. William, do you think the version of the movie we're going to see is different from the general release? No. I think the movie that we're seeing is different from the one that they saw at CinemaCon. Now, that being said, they could decide to strip away the post-credit scenes from this. That they've done that before. We may see the same movie that they saw at CinemaCon. Because I know at CinemaCon there were no post-credit scenes. They just went right to black. So, I don't know. I can't wait. We're less than, cannot wait. I haven't anticipated a movie like this in quite a while. And this is the kind of feeling I want to go into DC movies. This is the feeling we're going through right now. This is what James Gunn needs to replicate for his entire universe. He needs to have a wave that carries his movies. And I'm hoping he's seen the movie. And I'm hoping he's making an adjustment. Listen, I'm looking forward to everything he has going for it. Am I saddened that it could come at the expense of what I invested nearly a decade in watching? Yeah. But the caveat is I don't know that for a fact. I don't know what I'm getting. The Flash, like I said, if there's smart people in the room, the Flash could make it. Who knows? Ideally, I would like to, dude, the biggest crime that DC Films has done, and I've said this over and over again, has not been using the alternate concurrent storylines in the multiverse. And the reasons that they don't use it are fanboy logic. Boneheads that say, oh, it's too confusing. Pundits, oh, they'll never understand that. You're competing with yourself. Oh, how are the fans going to understand that? Once again, if you can't explain multiple Batmen within a short period of time of each other, if you can't explain that there are other universes where these characters have, if you can't get people to engage into each of those or at least one of those, you don't need to have your job. That is literally your job. There is no reason in hell. And this is where fanboy logic just stops with me. This is why fans are fans and creators are creators. There is no reason why Ben Affleck can come to you with a script for his show or his thing, and you put that out, and not a year and a half later put out Pattinson. There's no good reason. Oh, you're watering down Batman. No, you ain't. You are not watering down Batman. You're watering down Batman if you put out bad movies. It's like the Harley Quinn brand. You couldn't have watered down that character unless you put her in bad movies, and which is what they did. They put her in movies that were either bad, Birds of Prey, or which it had some good stuff in it, but it wasn't, because it didn't draw anything, it hurt her brand and that exposure for that character. All right, if Ben Affleck comes and makes an Academy Award level movie like he has done, he got a statue on his mantle, and people love it and go watch it, there is no reason, there's no common sense reason why Matt Reeves can't come out and make another Batman movie. And there's no reason, unless you are dealing with an absolute dummy, that you can't make that case to your consumer. So by not doing this, you're telling me you think that not just fanboys, that the entirety of your audience are a bunch of dummies. Or that the person you hired is a dummy. And I don't think either is the case. I think that what should happen at the end of this is, if there's money to be made with what you see on the screen, or what we see on the screen tomorrow night, then continue to make that money. That's retail. That's how you keep the lights on. And if you want to go forward with James Gunn's slate, go forward with James Gunn's slate. You want to do some more Matt Reeves, do it. And unless you are going to pack the theater with a bunch of absolute dummies, You should be able to do that. Unless you are paying millions and handing the keys over to an absolute dummy, you should be able to do that. That's what the Flash should lead to. That's what we should have been doing this entire time. And that is the biggest asset, the biggest advantage that DC has always had over Marvel anything. They created this form of storytelling. They created the alternate universe. They created the concurrent story, the parallel storyline. They created all of that decades before there was even a Marvel. When Justice Society comes out, that's your alternate universe. Earth 1, Earth 2. DC has cultivated that for years. So for the people who put these things into motion pictures to have never done this and to give just dumb excuses for not doing it, that is a crime. Fanboys can say stupid stuff. That's what we do. Once again, our little $10 that we're slapping down is nothing compared to the hundreds of millions that are being invested in these things. So they have wasted, and I hope what the Flash does, that the worst case scenario, the optimum scenario, is that we have a door that's open to tell storylines that aren't necessarily this. If this appeals to me, because guess what? The people who go, Pattinson's Batman only made $770 million, which is good money. But there are a lot of people who just weren't feeling that Batman that will still go see a Batfleck. There are a lot of people who love Pattinson's Batman that weren't just feeling BVS. Do I just leave that money on the table? No. Get greedy. So yeah, I hope I hope it happens. I hope there's a lot of stuff that this movie does and puts us in a conversation that is a sense of wonderment and not, But yeah, the general release, I think the general release is going to have everything. But I think I'm hoping that we get the post-credit scenes tomorrow. William thought Sigourney Weaver didn't get a call to return for Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel. From what I heard, she just didn't fit in the story. Be sure to hit the like button. Numbers. Hypothetically speaking, if Zack Snyder came out and said he was not interested and his heart isn't in DC anymore, but that can be a version. No, he doesn't own it. All right, Zack Snyder did work for DC, and that was work any more than Alan Moore owns stories that he did for DC. DC Films can take those stories and do what they want to and then go forward with what they want to. There was never a prerequisite for Zack Snyder to be behind the chair. He's always going to be an executive producer. But whether he is doing it or not doesn't mean that you leave that big hole in your storytelling. The story still needs to be resolved. Whether it's him behind the camera, him executive producing, him writing the screenplay, doesn't matter. Or someone else, David Lindoff, that takes a look at it and says, I got where you were going with this. Let me take this. If somebody with that kind of talent were to finish it, I don't think it's going to matter because, to be honest with you, you got some hardcore guys out there like Snyder behind the camera or bust. I'm not one of those guys. Resolve the story. And whatever means you need to do it and who you need to do it with, hire somebody who can analyze what has gone before and is good enough to draw the logical conclusion. If that's Zack Snyder, great. If it's Damon Lindelof, great. If it's Denny Villeneuve, great. Now, don't get some hack, obviously, that'll won't do it. Get the right person, and I think that person would be talented enough to be consistent with what has gone before. So, no, Zack coming out and saying his heart, Zack Snyder, I love the guy and I love his work. He's not the entirety of DC Comics. He's a guy who did work for DC Comics, and it's work we would like to see completed. But the work is the work, period. So, no, to answer your question, no. In my opinion, no. William, what do you think about the post? I don't know. I don't even want to speculate. I am assuming if there is a post-credit scene that it might lead into it. Maybe it'll lead into what, into what James Gunn is doing. Maybe not. Maybe it's too far away. Don't know. I have no idea. I'm not smart enough to understand Tenet. Yeah. Tenet was a difficult movie for me. William thought of Benedict Cumberbatch to play Peter Seeger opposite Timothée Chalamet in The Complete Unknown. Top tier talent. I don't know if I'll go see it, but it's top tier talent. I wish he'd do Sherlock season 3. Seeger was a major influence on Dylan, paving the way for his infatuation with American folk music scene. I hear the post-credit scene for Flash is gone laughing and pointing at the audience. I don't. I would. That would be ill-advised. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Forth. Right now, I think that the greatest thing that Gunn can do in the interim time he has till Superman comes out is endear himself to the audience. I'm not saying kiss their ass because there's some idiots out there, but I would like to see him invite us into the process as much as he can. And so, pointing and laughing at the audience, I know you're joking, might not be the best step. I heard Wesley Snipes is a jerk on all of his movies. William thought on a 10-episode finished Alien vs. Predator anime series, reportedly locked away at Disney since 20th Century Fox acquisition. I kind of hope it stays locked away. I don't like the mixing. I thought I was going to love the mixing of Alien and Predator based on the Dark Horse stuff, but everything that they've done with it since then, I just don't like. I would like to see them close the door on that. I was like, free tickets, say less. William thought on John Wick franchises past $1 billion worldwide. Good. I like Keanu Reeves. I wish him the best of everything that he does. Hey, Winfield is good. Okay, how is Nicolas Cage in it? On a scale of 1, where would you rank Nicolas Cage's performance in that movie amongst his performances? Williams, who's a better actor in your opinion, Nicolas Cage or John Travolta? Nicolas Cage has a little bit more dimensions to him. John Travolta developed all that later on in life. I would have to say Nicolas Cage. Yeah, I got the super chat. I saw it. Got it. Fourth. Oh, she's got the seal of the walrus. That's hilarious. Chappie, the fact that the movie even got finished is just incredible, and it kind of shows Snipes had a very big ego. Yeah, dude, he's a taxi evader. Jeebus, what's going on? No, I was following your guys' chat off and on because, like I said, I don't have Twitter hooked up to all my devices, but I haven't talked to him about that now. Yeah, and I love Michael Shannon's Zod. He's one of my favorite things about that Man of Steel. Yeah, he's changed. Wesley Snipes is vastly different. William's gonna be my real estate agent when I come back to Vegas. Oh no, I'll get you somebody though. Donnie Yen just announced IP Man, IP and with some okay. Okay, yeah, I read that before. Sports, I'm behind. I had Renfield shirts. I still have Renfield posters. Next time you come down, I'll give you one. How you doing, Al? I know. That'd be cool. I want to put something together where you guys can come down in the fall and we all get together and watch stuff. While I could have been curious about a Blade 4, no more Blades. It's just a whole thing that Snipes doing in the studio to him going to prison. Yeah, and it's just, like I said, those movies got watered down. I just think it would have more problems. Yeah, I mean, plus I think the buses, the buses left the building when it comes to Wesley Snipes. Silent Scotty, long time no see. I've met Silent Scotty. I have pictures. Silent Scotty actually came down to the center. Actually got a chance to meet him. All right, guys. Got about 23 more minutes. Let's see what I got here. Let me show you guys something. Okay, so you all know that I am a wrestling nut. And this is one of my Facebook memories popped up from 4 years ago. And it was like, wow. I mean, it seemed like it was yesterday. But this is more, here we go.
You see that? That was for you, Mondo.
All right.
You see that? That was for you, Mondo.
When I say Mondo, I'm talking to my buddy, my wrestling. But Mondo, you've seen him on the show. Mondo, that's what we always have this long running joke that I have my championship belts, and he's always saying he's going to challenge me for them and all that. He's a Taekwondo guy. I probably wouldn't have a chance against him unless I cheated. So we were doing a wrestling promo for one of the events we were doing years ago, and this is at the Severa Events Center, and we just practiced that over and over again. And I'm like, dude, these guys really are in great cardiovascular condition to be able to do this. You see how gassed I am, right? I'm in decent shape there. I'm gassed just doing a spear, and the other guy's doing the majority of the work. So, yeah, that was hilarious. I thought you guys should see that. Yeah, like I said, he did the majority of the work because he had to go with it. And I was like, dude, I don't want to hurt you. And he's like, don't worry about it. We are trained, and they are trained to go with that. And they did. We could have did a couple other things, and I watched him do some other stuff. And like I said, I always had an appreciation because growing up with wrestling, I've always had appreciation, whether it was scripted or not, of the physicality. Dude, hitting those rings, being body slammed and hitting that takes a toll on your body. Whether you're receiving or giving, that takes a toll on your back and your body. And even though that ring bounces, you're still coming up and you're still coming down. Still gravity, man. But I had a lot of fun. I'm at the point in my life where I do not care if I look silly. I'd rank Renfield 7 out of 10 on Nicolas Cage. So, okay. Cage won an Oscar. I think John Travolta was nominated one, but he won an Oscar for a movie that I didn't think he was that good in. To be honest with you, Oscars it's really tough for me. I used to grow up thinking you weren't the greatest actor in the world unless you had an Oscar, but then I see who wins them all the time, and I'm like, what? Harrison Ford doesn't have one. Ridley Scott doesn't have one. All right, and there are some people out there that have Oscars, and I'm like, okay, I saw your movie, and I'm like, what? So, yeah, I heard there's a whole story behind that. The franchise, as far as the quality content, was watered down. All the movies were equally violent, but as far as like quality wise, I think each movie's progressed. They weren't very good in my opinion. All right, well, we're in the same show. Yeah. This is, by the way, guys, I do have like 13 or 20 of these shirts. This is the standard work shirt for the Sci-Fi Center. When I'm doing company business, like tomorrow, for you guys that are going to be at the screening with me, at any screening I go to, I'm wearing this shirt. That one particular one, that was when I first got them made, and I had the logo on the back, just under my neck. And I had that there for a purpose, so when I'm at these places, you could see my logo, and you would ask me about the Sci-Fi Center, But like the story with these shirts goes, I don't know if I've shown it with you guys. I made these for when we promoted Shazam back in 5 years ago. In fact, it popped up on my anniversary, and I wore it to the new Shazam. I made these so everybody who went to see Shazam with us all had these shirts, and these shirts glow in the dark, by the way. So when we turned the lights out in the movie theater, all of our lightning bolts are glowing in the dark, and it was all you could see. So I made them for Shazam, and I just ended up wearing them after that. I pretty much had that as my standard work shirt. And one of the reasons why I wear the shirt is like tomorrow, like say if we have a chaotic, some screenings I have up to 150 people that we've handed out tickets with, and the way theater's set up, sometimes I have 2 screenings happening at one time, or people will wait in the wrong line. And I tell them, look for me. I will have a bright red shirt with a lightning bolt across it, the Shazam logo going. If you don't know Shazam, it's a lightning bolt. And a lot of people will look for that if they've gone to multiple screenings. But if they email me, I'll show them what to look for. and it makes it hard. It makes it easier for people to spot me in a crowd because it's a bright red shirt with a bright yellow lightning bolt on it. And usually I am the only one. In fact, almost always I am the only one there wearing it. So, and even my little animation thing, which you guys see, like obviously, if I my little animation thing has it on there, so it's become a bit of a trademark. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I was gassed. I know I don't. I'm hitting everybody. Did you say something, Peter? Oh, maybe I did miss you. Winfield is awesome. Haven't seen it yet. I sent people to see it. Let me go. Some of these guys are talking to each other too. So, Dundo, you knew the movie is funny, but certain scenes are supposed to be serious, but just made me laugh. I'm assuming you're talking about Winfield. Monkey Jeebus post-credit scene should be Blue Beetle, Cord, and Booster Gold before Ted dies and sets up Blue Beetle. It could, maybe. Dundo for the Beetle. Ha, fun. I hear the post-credit scene is Howard the Duck joined in DC Universe. Yeah. They barely wanted them in the Marvel Universe. Nicolas Cage at his cages. Let's see. I think Tenet was a vibe movie like what Matrix was back in the day, but, it was new back then. So... Why? I'm a consumer. I'm the guy paying for this. Why should I do anything I don't want to? And why should I give a shit about the new stuff coming? I do. I'm asking a question for fandom in general, though, Jeebus. Why should I care about the new stuff coming? No one has made a good enough argument to the common fan that they should give a rat's ass about anything coming. And if you're tied to this stuff, it's even a harder battle for you. Why should I let it go? Whenever you have you're a failure as a business and as a creator and as a producer and as a studio when the just let it go. If you have to tell your fans to just let it go, you probably have failed on a level that is going to need massive repair. And guess what? Warner Brothers has failed on a level that needs massive repair. All right. If you're a studio head and you're telling and that's a vibe you give your customer, you're probably going to fail. And guess what? They failed. None of those guys who were telling us to let it go, as Ann Sarnoff and the cul-de-sac comment, none of those guys are around anymore. All right. So when you're failing, when you're telling people to let it go, that means you've made so many screw-ups that you would rather have people not look away than repair. That says as a studio, you're too lazy to do things right. That's not a good sign. And once again, why should anybody care about new stuff? It's up to them. It's not up. One fan should never. Fans don't have the right, to be honest with you, to tell anyone else how to feel about anything upcoming or in the past. You spent your money on it. You liked it or didn't like it. That's you. But no one can make the case for someone embracing any of this stuff that James Gunn is saying. Even on that is you on an individual level. If you on an individual level want to be excited about that, that's great. I am. But there's no way in hell I'm going to tell a paying customer to not have regard for what he's seen and want more of it. He's a customer. He can like and feel however he wants to. And no one has made the case for him to feel otherwise. Warner Brothers sure as hell hasn't. Why? And this is a legitimate question that they're not going to be able to answer in any near time until these movies come out. Why should I even trust Warner Brothers with anything new when I've seen what they've done with everything else? That's what fan loyalty is. Why would anybody, outside of us hardcore geeks, trust them and have any faith that they're even going to make these movies? How many times have Warner Brothers canceled projects and stuff? How many times have we get announcements of that? So, it is never one fan's right to tell anyone how to feel about something that they're passionate about. Never. All right. It is never a good thing for a studio to try to distract you from something that someone has paid for and has loved because you screwed it up. The result is what you have with Warner Brothers now. The result is you having a $74 billion company that was purchased by AT&T turning into a $43 billion company with massive amounts of debts. That thinking got Warner Brothers where they are today. So why? Give me a good reason. First of all, in order to let anything go, you had better had something for me to latch onto, and they didn't. So, hell no. Sorry, I mean, not coming at you directly, Jeebus, but that's not a legitimate train of thought, to be honest with you. No customer should ever be told this. And if you're a customer and you hear this, you need to get up and walk out of whatever establishment or whatever business that is. And then once again, for fans, there seems to be a group of fans who think it's their lot in life to tell Snyder fans to move on. And I've told you guys, I don't care about your opinions about what I think about the Snyderverse as far as whether I like it or whether I think go on. And you shouldn't care about mine any more than I care about a dumb show that you might be watching that I have no regard for. That is your solitary right as a fan to go forward in whatever way you want to, as long as you ain't hurting nobody. So, there you go. All right. Let's see. Where do I want to go? Because I'm not going to be able to get to all these. Most people didn't care about Shazam. And most people didn't care about Black Adam. Those movies should have never been made. That was a corporate decision by people who are no longer with the corporation to greenlight those movies instead of your main pillars. And that's why those movies failed. I thought it was a horrible movie, but, to each his own. I noticed when I visited William and showed me he had his plain red shirt, and then at some point he changed his red Shazam shirt. Yeah, because once the event began, I was doing the business of the Sci-Fi Center, and the plain red shirt that I had was actually one of the older shirts that actually had the logo on it that faded away. If Shazam came in and Flash would have been nice. Shazam, yeah. Those puns, right? Spotting William, a 6'2" man, is not that hard to do wearing a red shirt or no. You'd be surprised. I've had people texting me while they're standing 3 feet away from me and didn't know who I was looking for me. So, yeah, you'd be surprised. Troy, mine too. Blade Trinity was my guilty pleasure too. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that movie. Isn't Dundo Isaac? I'm not sure. Isaac the film guy, or I remember that guy. Yeah, smash the like button. I really don't watch Oscars. I used to watch them hardcore, but they've grown detached from the kind of movies I watch. So there you go. Yeah, Mahershala Ali won his second Oscar for that, or his first Oscar. All right, I'm good. I'm just going over some of you guys. Someone who I watch, who I won't name, said that he boycotted the live-action Disney remakes and says they are abomination and disgrace to the originals, and so people who watch them. See, here's the thing. That's not up to that person. All right, it's if you want to say I don't like this, that's one thing. But when you go out and insult people, listen. We joke about Howard the Duck, but some of you out there love Howard the Duck. I don't think you're an idiot. I don't understand. I don't understand, but I'm not gonna. You're no less a person. I don't think you're being insulted by if you think that's a cult classic for you. But I hear a lot of people do stuff like that, and you want to boycott it, then go ahead. But Abomination and the Disgrace, that's a little bit serious. But I mean, is that really is that big a deal? And an insult to people who watch them. A lot of people go see. People went $1 billion worth of people went to go see Aladdin. Or are they? I mean, are they being insulted? I mean, the movie going experience and how you feel about these things, like I just said, is solitary and an exclusive feeling onto yourself. No fan should ever interfere with that connection. No fan should ever do that. All right, it's just something that just shouldn't be done, and I see it a lot. Obviously, in the community that we're in with the Snyder stuff, you don't like BBS, so what? Congratulations. I'm pretty sure there's 10 or 20 movies that you like that I don't like. Do I hate you for it? No. But I don't need you to tell me to move on from it or not like it or anything like that, or that stuff like that. Enjoy your movie experience and let the guy next to you enjoy theirs. And if you have some common bonds about it, great. Great. But like I said, remember, at the end of the day, it's your money. It's your money. Now, if people who want to tell you not to go see something or to let something go want to pay for your entertainment, different story. But it's your money. It's your time. It's your investment. You're the only one that matters when it comes to that situation. I've always wanted to see a new Shazam movie in a theater. Hooray, it's showing on New Max. Vince, everybody hates Green Book, including Vince, and everybody hates Green Book, including me. Sorry, bro. The biggest offensive movie since Clash. I thought it was well. Listen. It's a human interest movie, but I enjoyed those two particular actors in there, Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali, and I thought he gave it another Academy Award winning performance on that one. So what? Are you talking about Crash? I guess I'd have to rewatch Green Book. I only watched it once, and it was before I got into watching YouTube or film reviews. Like I said, it's not for everybody. But like I said, each individual experience is a solitary, one for each moviegoer. I'm glad that Oscar gave Parasite, Coda, and everything, Everywhere All at Once, Best Picture after they made the wrong decision with Green Book. What a mess. Yep. Vince, Crash was the one that stole Best Picture from Brokeback Mountain. Yeah. Okay. I thought you meant Crash. Parasite was wonderful. I thought in theaters. I did not like Parasite. And I like that director. He's done some pretty good Korean horror stuff. My girlfriend loved Brokeback Mountain, but I've never seen it. I remember all the jokes that came out when that hit. And why is it that some these people don't understand that these live action Disney remakes are made for a new generation? It's honestly kind of selfish being insulting kids that watch. Yeah, like I said, listen, any of these things, remakes wise, remaking The Crow, I told you guys how I feel about that. I think they have an uphill battle to sell that. But nothing is going to take away from my 1994 experience watching Brandon Lee, listening to that soundtrack. They can make 1,000 Crow remakes. That's not going to touch mine. The worst they could do is I like it. It'll never replace the experience. People take it personally to where, like, if you remake something, you're attacking that moment for me. You're attacking that childhood for me. That movie meant something to me. It's special to me, and you remaking it, you're devaluing that. And that's not true. These movies are going to be there for you. Red Dawn should have never been remade because you were never going to do that. But you know what? The Red Dawn that they released, a few years ago doesn't touch the 1984 version. I mean, remakes don't hurt the originals. I don't think. BBM is a great film. How you doing, Damien? Yeah, we're it's a semi, so we got a little bit more time. Exactly, Tony. I agree. Criticize the product, but not the people who enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah, unless it's cuties. That was kind of creepy, but once again, dude, I mean, it's not for me. I turn it. I turn it. They got that magical device here. If I don't like it, it leaves my screen, and if it makes me feel unsettling, I get it. All right, isn't there a new gay cowboy movie with Ethan Hawke and Pedro Pascal? I don't know. It's not on the top of my list. Nothing against gay cowboys, but human interest. I need stuff blowing up. I need people being ripped apart, and it doesn't sound like I'm going to get it there. It's almost 82 minutes. Oh, where we were talking. All right, thank you. It's everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah, all of us. Yeah, Michelle. I'm glad to see Michelle Yeoh win. Parasite is a great film. I'm shocked you're the first person to dislike. I didn't hate Parasite. I just didn't. It just didn't feel like that level of movie for me. And like I said, I was surprised it just wasn't a big deal. I mean, I was intrigued about the premise, but I just didn't like the flow of the movie. I just didn't. This didn't do it for me. And I liked the director. The director did The Host, which is one of my favorite foreign science fiction movies. He's done a couple other things I really did like, and so I went into that. Usually, when a director does multiple things I like, especially a foreign director, I'm really into it. I just didn't connect to me. Maybe I need to watch it again. I didn't hate it, but I didn't think it was the best picture that year either. So that's just my opinion. All right, if a remake ruins your childhood, you need to reevaluate your child. Yeah, man. And that's what in the Superman people. They need to just redo Christopher Reeves. That's the Superman for me. That was the Superman for you. 6-year-old me loved Christopher Reeve. But I'm not 6 years old anymore. So if you want to do Superman in this modern day and era, you have a responsibility, in my opinion, to make it reflect the things that are going on around us. Because we're not in 1980 anymore. I am not a child anymore. There's nothing you can do to touch my childhood now that I'm a grown man. Those are always going to be special moments to me. But like I said, that's what the hatred to these movies and these IPs come from, because people, they look at these movies as their personal possession. That if you do something, you're replacing it. People don't want anything replaced. They don't want to be replaced. But no one's ever going to replace that stuff for you. Let's see. Hey, William, what are your thoughts on Amazon Space Show Expanse? I thought the Expanse was great. Thought the Expanse is. I wish I had been watching it at the time to do, watch parties and stuff with it. I probably still can. Honestly, boycotting live action Disney remakes is stupid because The Lion King made over $1.63 billion in Aladdin as well, and probably The Little Mermaid is going to make. Yeah. And if you love The Little Mermaid cartoon, guess what? When they put this movie out, your movie is not going to disappear. It's not going to be some magical Thanos thing where they snap, here comes a new one, your old one is gone. This is not going to happen. Those memories are yours forever, At William, which movie releasing in the second half of 2024 and full 2025 that will end up terrible because of WCJ? For example, X-Men, Origins, Transformers, Resident Falling. Okay, I think those movies are bad because the premises are bad on those movies. I don't think the writers tried, because what ended up happening is a lot of those movies got delayed. What's going to happen with these movies, I don't think you're going to have that problem. I think you are going to see massive delays before you see lesser talent put on these things. And, I just don't think it's going to happen. You're not going to see hacks put in charge of these. I think that the people who are directing and writing these now are going to be the people who are directing and writing them after the strike. I don't think those bridges are going to be burned. And once the strike is over, people are going to go back to doing business. Strikes are necessary things sometimes. It's like Clemenza said in The Godfather, sometimes we got to have one of these every 4 or 5 years. All right. Speaking of memes, Brokeback Mountain. Oh, jeez. There were so many memes, and like I said, when they first announced that Heath Ledger was going to be the Joker, that's all I could think of is Brokeback Mountain, and I laughed. I'm like, "You're going to put Brokeback Joker?" And wow, was I wrong? Holy cow, was I wrong? Heath Ledger delivered one of the all-time great performances of any type of movie, of any type of actor, any type of film. He's what makes The Dark Knight watchable for me, because to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of the Nolan trilogy. I'm a fan of The Dark Knight, and I'm a fan of Heath Ledger's part in it. Have you ever seen actual Braun porn parody? Okay. Any question that has the word porn in the first couple of words, I'm afraid I need to slow down and read this. Superhero films costume, they look way better than anything CW did and better than Gun SS movie. No, I have not. Thank you for bringing porn onto the show. Took us a while, but we finally got to it. Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe to Sci-Fi Center's YouTube channel. There you go. And it's also in my name as well. Like I said, we're well on our way to 1,000 subscribers. 78 years old. Here I come. Will you be allowed to give social media reactions to the Flash tomorrow? They were allowed after CinemaCon. Yeah, I think I will be able to say that it's great. Like, if I think it's great, you should go see it. I think I'll be able to do that. But I don't think I'll be able to say specifics of anything. Like, it's, and I won't be doing that anyway, so I think I'll be fine. I won't be doing a spoiler review for a while, and if I do a spoiler review right after the movie, it's going to have a big, giant spoiler review, flashing lights, do not enter type of thing like that, because I know not everybody's going to see this movie when it comes out. Remakes don't hurt the original, but ruin its current relevance to cinema because audience perceive it as lame. I can understand that part, but I can also, let's flip it around. If you have a movie that just hasn't been in the current conversation and somebody releases a remake, then a lot of us guys who like that remake can refer you back to the original and not bring them back into the conversation. I understand what you're saying, but I can kind of see maneuvering around that too. And then some remakes are just different, like Let Me In and Let the Right One In are both great movies. I prefer the foreign version more, but I understand because I watch a lot of foreign movies and not a lot of those movies translate well to American audience. So I'd see what he did, what he had to do there. It's a different movie, but I like them both equally. But like The Crow, things like that, The Crow is just, like I said, it's got an uphill battle. Movies like that have uphill battles. When the strike is done, I don't think it's going to go for at least 2 more months. Yeah, it could maybe longer. The guy also said when he saw Maleficent, and afterwards he wanted to put a pencil in his ear and stick it. Wow, Duke. Okay, guys, we got it. I know I joke about certain movies. Like I joke about Howard the Duck. I joke about Dudes With My Car, but we got to step off the cliff. We got to step off the cliff when it comes to this entertainment. You mean, damn, was it that bad? I mean, I feel awful about Cloverfield. I'm not gonna harm myself. Maybe it's because I need to not. I mean, I've told myself I'm not taking everything seriously these days. So, yes, thank you. Like I said, I am 48 now, so 30 years from now, 30 years we'll reach 1,000. Where am I at right now? Where am I at? Am I? Oh, have I brought anything? I really, like I said, when I first started my channel, it was as basically a side thing I was doing with I got 8 subscribers to go to reach 200. I was basically, supporting the Poindexter Lounge and being on here, and I started my channel late. And to be honest with you, what I was doing and what I'm still doing is mirroring what I'm doing here. So at some point, I'm going to put a lot more into like individual content and short form content, and I'll get to where I'm going. But like I said, I could do controversy and drama and talk about other YouTubers and things like that, and people, and I know a lot of my friends on YouTube do that. It's just not me. I think that I would rather talk to you guys and go back and forth with you guys and have you guys be the topic than if I don't have a topic, I'd rather you guys be the topic. A lot of people like that. A lot of people like Maleficent. Aren't vampires used as an analogy to communism? In certain movies and in certain cultures, yes. In Eastern Europe, yes. And the vampire was used as a cultural metaphor for sucking the life out of the general populace, depending on who you were talking to and what vampire movie and what genre. I know a lot of Eastern European movies that were being made in places that were affected by the Cold War and the Soviets that came up with a lot of different. So if you watch a lot of foreign vampire movies, you'll notice a familiar theme. Hey, I've almost doubled my channel subs the last couple of months with barely any content. You can do it. Yeah, I'm moving there. I'm getting there. I think some shorts of content leading people back to the back to the lives would help a lot. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to do some at Double or Nothing wrestling event here in Vegas. I'm going to do some stuff there. You know, right now I'm having fun, and I'm like I said, we're about to make a big leap forward as far as the quality. William, what are the chances of Draymond Green and Kyrie Irving being Lakers next season? Draymond Green more than Kyrie. I think what the Lakers need is a volume scorer that can put pressure on the defense, and they didn't have that. I think that 9 points combined is what Dennis Schroeder and D'Angelo Russell got you. At no point in time did Denver ever have to regard any of our guards, our point guards, as anything that they had to worry about. That's what allowed Murray to roam free and score 37, 38 points on us because he never had to defend anybody. And when he did have to defend, when they switched on him and put Reeves, he got into foul trouble, and we started shooting jump shots. But the problem with Kyrie Irving is unless he takes a massive discount, you're going to gut your team of any depth you have. So right now he can make $48 million or whatever, right? So our cap space, if we don't sign anybody else, would be like $31 million, and that's with no depth. That's with getting rid of people that come off the bench. And I don't know if you want to do that with a 38-year-old LeBron and AD. You need depth. Depth helps you win. Now, if Kyrie comes over and says, I'm going to sign a 1-year contract for a huge discount, and we can pitch you in, yeah, he's a tremendous player. He's a head case, but I think alongside LeBron, he would be all right. Draymond's a different deal. I don't think Draymond is going to demand as much money as Kyrie, obviously. And only problem I ever have with Draymond Green is he's a 6'8" center, and I like long, lengthy centers. But he's a very crafty and very smart defender. He couldn't hurt. If we had him in this series, I think they could have won it. All right. Also, back to Howard the Duck. Okay. Another thing that is going to doom anything else that comes after. Back to Howard the Duck. It does have a yes, it does. It does. It has groups, dude. There's Facebook groups out there for Howard the Duck. There you go. Hey, he doesn't just kick the opposition in the nuts. He gets inside their head. He does what Rodden did. Rodman wasn't a big guy. He was only 6'6", 6'7", and he was able to guard much larger people because he can get under their skin. So that's what you really want to do. Vampires are a metaphor for the Antichrist. Jesus gave his blood to save all of vampire. All a vampire takes blood from everybody to save himself. What a literal guy. You know what? I've heard that too. We should do, me and Dave, we should do something on vampirism and what it means to different cultures. You should do a walkthrough in the center on your channel, MTV. I've done it when the store looks a lot better since the last time I've done it, so I will do that soon. How you doing, Spider-Man? Also, what are your thoughts on Thor? I was very disappointed. It's probably the most disappointed I've ever been to a high-level movie like that. When we went to see Transformers, the movie, and that's where you first saw the Cloverfield trailer, and all you saw was these people at a party with the camera, and then you hear this thump, 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 and then everybody looks out the window, and the Statue of Liberty's head comes tumbling down Madison Avenue. I was so hyped about that. And what I saw was a human interest movie about people who, by the end of the movie, I was rooting for them to die because they were stupid. They were so stupid. I'm like, the only saving grace is that all of you have to die because you are so dumb. And then I got 6 minutes of Monster. And the shaky cam thing, I had people throwing up in the theater because some of the old people couldn't. It was so much shaking, they couldn't. They were getting dizzy. It was a disaster for me. So yeah, I was very disappointed. And I love J.J. Abrams' works. Monkey G, Mexican Iron Man thinks he can shoot better than me. I can hit any target. Is that a bet? I watched Howard the Duck as a kid, and I like ducks. That should have scarred you. It's a nostalgia thing for me. I don't. So you watched a duck with human boobs as a kid, and that you're okay. Everything all right. I don't actually think it's a good movie. I know it's not a good movie. What happened to Cloverfield? I don't know. Okay, they made 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then they made that Cloverfield Paradox. I hear there's another one in the works. I watched that movie at home. I saw it on opening night. Cloverfield? Like I said, disappointing. I came for a monster movie, and I had Let's Go Save Beth. By the way, we all meet at this party that they're throwing for Beth, and they're going away. Who cares? Most of these people who go on this adventure don't even know each other. They're not related to each other. This guy who's doesn't want Beth to leave or whatever, convinces these people who they don't know each other from Jack, let's go rescue my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, in the heart of the city where this monster is running around stomping and killing people, where half the city is knocked over. We just met you at a party. Can you come with me to go save my girlfriend that may not even want me anymore? Come die with me instead of evacuating the city. The army, who is shooting heavy machinery at this thing, is retreating, and you clowns are going into the city to save someone we may not even know who's alive. Oh, by the way, once again, just met you at a party and we're half drunk. I'm sorry, Beth. You just have to die. Hope you make it out. Hope when we have this Cloverfield reunion, you're one of the people that pops up. But I'm not risking all that for you. And if I don't even know who the hell you are, I'm like, hey, dude, that sounds like a great idea. Good luck. I'm getting on this helicopter. Because they ended up nuking the city. Oh, that movie was just beyond. Like I said, it got to a point where you all needed to die. If all those people didn't die, then I wanted my money back. And they all died. There you go. J.J. Spielberg's favorite hack or what? I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, they were all best friends before. Some of them were, but remember that one, they didn't all know each other. Enough of that group. That girl, that explodes, she didn't know anybody. The hell is she doing down there? And okay, even if they were best friends, listen, I got a lot of best friends. I got army buddies who I would drag out of a burning tank if I could. But even the army says sometimes you just have to go, man. You are no good to us dead. The John Wayne stuff doesn't work. We need you to say, just come on. Come on. Yeah, it was all over the place. And like I said, the Cloverfield monster, which was a kick-ass monster, you get to see him very fleetingly. Yeah, you got to see the little crabs that drop down and infect people and make them explode. That was cool. But other than that, no. And the ending was stupid. The ending was like, what the hell? The army captain's telling you we're going to drop a MOAB or a sub-nuclear weapon on this city block. We're going to take out the city block. We need you to get on this helicopter. No, we still got to go get Beth. She's out there. What? The army would have said, you know what? Just get out the way. And then when they're on the bridge, you see the monster out there, and you're going to get on the bridge, and of course the monster takes down the bridge and kills all of them. They did the most dumbest, inane stuff in that movie, and I'm like, you could do better in a video game. And then the guy at the end, because for somehow, some way, it's being all filmed by this one guy. He's got a camera. He's everywhere. He's getting the best shot. His friends are dying. People are getting infected by stuff. He's getting great shot, by the way. Good friend you are. All right, and he dies because he's stupid. They blow up the city, and it doesn't kill the monster. So these boneheads make it all the way back to where they should have been evacuating already. They survive the blast. And he looks up, and the monster's standing right on top of him. So instead of running, he stays there long enough for the monster to look down and say, what's this? And the monster, of course, eats him. And I cheered because you needed to die. No one in that movie needed to live. And I'm like, what? And that's what happens when you make monster movies into human interest movies. I don't care about Beth. I don't care about their relationship. I don't care about the wives, the kids, the missions. I pay for a monster movie. I pay the humans in a monster movie are there to die. That is it. All right? They're there to be burned, hacked, eaten, infected, destroyed. That is what a human means to me in a monster movie. The Godzilla movie that they released in 2014, listen, I'm sorry the wife had passed away and all that. I don't care. Where's Godzilla? All right? That's what I feel about Cloverfield. And I love J.J. Abrams' work, and that was the most frustrating movie I've ever seen. Because it wasn't a bad movie, like quality-wise, but it was stupid. You got more common sense out of a group of friends in a Scooby-Doo episode than you did out of Cloverfield. Ugh. Man, William, you just sold me a Cloverfield. I'm going to watch it now. Go ahead and watch it. I hope you throw up with the shaky cam, Forth. Watching it out of spite. JJ is a hack because he doesn't want to be the best him director. He wants to be a director. You know what? That's a lot of directors. He's heavily influenced. I love JJ Abrams stuff. I think he does better TV work than anything else because you watch Fringe and you watch Alias. I lost. Yeah, but he loved his girlfriend, Beth. Did you see the building Beth was trapped in? We weren't saying. Not only was she trapped in. Listen, this is where this movie, I almost got out and walked out because I'm like, there's no way you're going to come up. The dumbest one amongst them, the absolute bonehead, the guy with the camera. They approach this movie, and Beth is trapped in a building where the building is, they're both buildings have fallen, and they're that this way. So they're in a slanted building. The building's going to fall. It's condemned. It's done. He comes up, the dumbest guy in there, comes up with an idea that they all say, you know what, that's a great idea. And I'm like, no, it's not. And you've been calling this guy an idiot the whole movie, and now you're going to take his really dumb idea to go into that building that is falling apart while this monster is shaking the whole city down. I know relatives that wouldn't even do that for anybody, let alone some fools you met at a party and you're high and drunk. At some point, the drugs and alcohol has to wear off to where you're like, okay, we're going to die if we do this, and she's going to die with us. Like, come on, man. His girlfriend, Beth. Beth would have been like, wow. And then when they find her, she's impaled. It's just like, what the? And guess what? Guess what? Guess what they got for saving Beth? They all died. Other than smart people, the army, civilians, got on the elevator, the helicopter. See, these fools went back for what? No. Battle of Los Angeles is actually a really good film. That's Thomas. Yeah, I love that action movie. And that pretty much was what killed the monster at the end. No, he didn't die at the end. No, it did. That bomb didn't kill him. It wiped out the city. No, remember? Oh, speaking of how it didn't kill the monster, when they finally get on the helicopter to evacuate, like they should have done 2 hours ago, they finally get on the helicopter. They drop this bomb on the city. Instead of hightailing it in an angle, like whenever you drop anything when you're in an aircraft, obviously you get the hell out of it. You fly a different pattern because the shock, everything affects your aircraft. You want to get as far away as possible, right? For some reason, the helicopter's hovering over the monster they just bombed. And guess what happens? In true Jason fashion, the monster ain't dead, and because they're hovering so close to it, it reaches out and knocks the helicopter and knocks them all down. I waited 9 months for that. We saw the trailer of that movie in July of 2007, and it came out in January 18th. January 18th of 2008. I remember the date. And I was so hyped for Cloverfield. I'm like, this is, and their marketing campaign was brilliant for it. I have never been so disappointed in a movie than that. And J.J. Abrams, who, like I said, I'm still going to go see his stuff, but I'm like, dude, that was a bad day at the office, man. And the Battle of Los Angeles based on a true story, too. Oh, I don't know about all that. There's aliens. Everything you said about Cloverfield is part of the beautiful absurdity of cinema. No! You can say the same thing about Star Wars Rescue. Okay. Here's the thing, though. There's a lot more thought about him rescuing Princess Leia. That was actually him wanting to be affiliated with the Jedi and the Force, and that's something he grew up with. He wasn't at a party with a bunch of people that he just barely met and who were half drunk and meeting some chick that even the guy who was with was in the process of breaking up. Okay, there's a little bit more connection, a lot more connection to Leia, obviously we found out, but there's a little bit more connection to Luke's mission and Obi-Wan and the whole thing that he always wanted to be, that was building up, and it just so happens that all came together. You're at a party. Listen, if William is at that party, I'm gone as soon as the Statue of Liberty head comes tumbling down Madison Boulevard. As soon as I see that, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not even waiting for the army. I'm out. Whatever's making that noise, William is going the other way, and he's going fast. All right? My movie is going to be the city of New York getting smaller and smaller because I'm on something that's getting me the hell out of there. All right? If the army can't stop it, and I know what the army has, you and Beth and all these people ain't going to do nothing but die. So, yeah, whatever. So, yeah, the absurdity, I don't know, man. I don't know. It was absurdity is right. No, I'll give you that, but Cloverfield. William, can you imagine the Los Angeles Lakers creating a perfect starting lineup 2023-2044 season with Kyrie, Lonnie Walker, LeBron James, Draymond Green, Anthony Davis? You're going to need a little bit more than that, though, once again. I mean, you're going to run those guys into the ground. With Kyrie's salary being $40 million, do you really want to do that again? That's one of the reasons why while Russell didn't work out, not only was he a bad fit, but he ate up so much of your salary that you couldn't get a backup point guard, you couldn't get a backup center, and it just really hurt your season. Williams 3Ds. Yeah, we had all 3Ds in Cloverfield. We had death. We definitely had dismemberment. We had bodies exploding. You know, the violence and the gore when it was there was good. It just wasn't packaged with a story that I could be like, I can't relate to you people because I would not be there. I would be the guy who would be like halfway to the point, you know what, I think we should turn around. This was a bad idea. I'm Shaggy in this whole thing. So let's leave. We're all going to die. And then at some point when it got real bad, all right, you guys, listen, here's where we part way. I love you all. I hope to see you again. But I'm not about to die with you for nothing. And I don't even know Beth. Sorry, we're out of here. Battle at Los Angeles felt like a military-industrial contract propaganda, which is exactly what it was. It was kind of like a District 9. It was kind of like District 9 to me. I felt it along that same. And supposedly the Army fought the camera at the end despite being an explosion at the end, and somehow the camera survived with all footage. Yeah. That camera survived a whole bunch of stuff in that movie. Not generally a fan of Godzilla movies, but I love Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla kind of grosses me out, but hey. The people who work as a counter-organism of Godzilla adapted directly all of Godzilla's evolution to direct response to humans, specifically the government. Yep. Another stupid thing, Beth had injuries in computer. Yeah, Beth was impaled, and where she was impaled, Beth is dead. And once we get there, and I see Beth is impaled, and her boyfriend has drugged me off here, and this person's basically giving her last rites, I'd be like, hey, Beth is about to die. Oh, and so are we. I'm like, come on, man. Movies were rational. You never. Yeah, I get it. I understand that. But there's a line. Obviously, Fast and the Furious going into space with the duct tape car, that's where you lose me. But if you do things like prior to what they do, where like most of the stuff that they were doing is believable, that's where you want to straddle the line. When the movie's characters are so stupid that you're rooting for them to die, that's bad, man. It's bad. Beth must have had that, but dude, we were being vulgar. Me and my buddy John were going to see. I don't want to be vulgar here, but you can understand what we were asking. Beth must have been great. Beth must have been the best ever. If you're willing to die for that, she must have been like top notch. You know, and like I said, without getting vulgar, that's what we were talking about. I'm like, dude, when we finally meet Beth, I'm looking to see J-Lo be impaled there or something, or Shakira or somebody. I'm like, that better be some magical, you know what? But hey, so no, he survived that. That's how he knocked the helicopter out of the sky. Matt Reeves directed Cloverfield. Yep. Han Solo went on to save the princess mission with people he had no reason to trust. Yeah, but he was being paid, though. He had a reason to be there, not a reason to trust. See, this is what Cloverfield lacks. They weren't getting paid to get her, and they had no reason to trust that bull. At least Han Solo had money. He needed money. Remember, he was trying to pay off a bounty. So he had a reason to at least be there. They did not. They had a reason to be at that party, but their asses should have been gone. I could have been at the party, but I'm not going to say, Beth, sorry. Call me chicken. There's a 100-foot monster out there with little crab-like creatures dropping from it that can infect you and make your blood boil and explode. Sorry, Beth. Sorry. I wish you good luck and fortune. And hey, who knows? If they knock out the monster, I'll be on that mission that comes to find your bones. But I'm not going to be the one that they're on the mission to find the bones for. I'm out. I'm gone. Sorry, Beth. Gotta go. It showed that I didn't have a clear understanding of what was going on. But yeah, it was a very confusing movie, too, by the way. I think J.J. Abrams confirmed that the monster dead at the end of the movie where they knew to. No, I'm pretty sure. Because didn't they dropped. Well, hold on. I can see. I've. Hold on. I thought the bomb that they dropped. Let me look, because it's been a while since I've seen Cloverfield. It's been 14 years since that movie came out. Okay, let's see. All right. Okay, spoiler alert, but it's been 14 years. Sorry. They traveled the best apartment building to discover it toppled on its side. Sign number one, you need to get that out of here. After crossing roofs from the opposite building, which was absolutely insane, the group finds her impaled on an exposed rebar, and she was impaled close to her heart. She should have been dead, collapsed, like gone. They free her, which is bullshit, right? And make their way to the evacuation site at Grand Central Terminal, which is a long way back. Where they encounter the creature again. Lily is the first rushed into a departing Marine Corps helicopter to escape before the terminal is destroyed. Moments later, Rob, Beth, and Hud's the idiot with the camera, are taken away in a second helicopter and witness this creature being bombed. The bombing causes the creature to fall and success is assumed, but it then lunges out of the smoke, hitting the helicopter and causing it to crash in Central Park, killing the pilot and everyone inside, except Rob, Beth, and Hud, who were the three that needed to die. Less than an hour later, a voice on the crash helicopter radio warns that hammer down protocol would begin. Okay, hammer down protocol will begin in 15 minutes. The three friends regain consciousness and attempt to flee. Hud turns back to retrieve the camera. Why? Hud turns back to retrieve the camera when the creature suddenly appears and kills him. Why? Because his dumbass stands there long enough for the creature who's looking around to look down, and he just stands there, and you see him getting eaten. You idiot. Rob and Beth grab the camera. This camera, I mean, geez, got so many people killed. Rob and Beth grab the camera and take shelter under the Arch of Sirens blare after the bombing starts. So they're still just bombing. Rob and Beth each provide their last testimony, just how stupid they were. The bridge begins to crumble, and the camera is knocked out of Rob's hand. And beneath the rubble, Rob and Beth were claiming love each other. Yeah, you're just about to die for this chick you were supposed to break up with. Well, hey, congratulations. The bomb explodes and the camera is freezing up before the footage cuts. All right. No, it wasn't a nuclear bomb. It wasn't. They heavily bombed it, but it wasn't a nuclear bomb. So it is unknown whether they killed the monster. Is not. I guess you could assume that they did, but they didn't. By the way, if they had dropped a nuclear bomb, that last testimony is them being vaporized because they were way too close to it. Aaron, no, the monster didn't die. Over the radio, you can hear the army say it still lives. Yeah, you can still hear them fighting it. And that was a baby, by the way. The Cloverfield monster was a baby. So if you see Cloverfield Paradox, there's a much, much larger one that is so tall that it reaches through the clouds. That's when you watch Enoch and he has that cocaine, that drop. That's from Cloverfield Paradox. That's a much larger monster that is so big that it peaks above the clouds. So, yeah, a lot of people didn't. I like Cloverfield with 10 Cloverfield Lane. Oh, 10 Cloverfield Lane was great. John Goodman and Mary Elizabeth Munster. Oh, he's great in that. That's one of his best movies. And That movie had an ending that kind of pissed me off, but the majority of the movie was good. I really liked the battle. I said it's underrated. Yeah, it was. All right. So, William, have you seen the 90s Gamma trilogy? Yes, I have them on VHS at the store. Oh, I think William would rescue me if I was trapped in the building with him. Hey, listen, fourth, and listen, dude. Listen, we're fellow San Bernardino Countyites. All right. We like a lot of the same things. I appreciate your patronage and your loyalty to both the Point Addiction Lounge and me. Sorry, man. Sorry. Now, if it's an immediate situation, like I'm grabbing you out of a burning vehicle or something like that, or you're bleeding and I can stop you bleeding and just general first aid, a combat lifesaver, I can help you. If it's within reason, all right, yeah, you got a point, Porth. I'm going to do everything I can. That is not within reason. All right? That is not anywhere within reason. At some point, another pal, my family member, I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm impaled here. I understand. Go ahead and leave me. Don't want to die here, but I don't want to take you with me. So, within reason, Porth, I'll help you out. I'll hook you up. I will save you. But a building collapsed on each other and a 200-foot whatever monster and little crabby things that are carrying viruses and buildings. No, Porth. No, Porth. I'm going to talk really good about you after you're dead, though. That's your memorial. Han wasn't paid. He was promising. Well, yeah, but the promise of money to bring me money. Yeah, he needed that money. That was his inspiration for it. That was his, there was a reason for him to be there. Yeah! This wasn't even your current girlfriend. You died and got everybody horrifically killed for someone who wasn't even your girl. Not your wife, not your mistress. Some other girls, you got all those people killed for someone else's girlfriend. Where was that guy? That guy needed to be the one taking the rebar out of her chest. By the way, which she should have bled out immediately and died. Should have been dead when they got there. But hey, it's Hollywood. But yeah, man, there's just so much about Cloverfield. I could do a whole stream about the stupidness of Cloverfield. And we just make a movie about what William would have done. That movie's a 20-minute movie. As long as it takes me to get away from all that madness, that's how long that movie lasts. Apollo 18 is another very bad movie. Yeah, it is. It was half up front, half also. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Han never did get around to paying job after all that money. Scoundrel. Yeah, that's why he ended up getting frozen. They dropped 2 bombs. The one that brought the helicopter down, then the characters ran into the bridge, and the big bomb goes off. Yeah, but it was a Moab. It wasn't a, which is it's the most powerful non-nuclear bomb you can get, but it's not a nuclear. If they had dropped a nuclear bomb, they're all dead. They're just, it's over with. They all died anyway, but they would have died. There would have been no getting under the bridge for the explosion. You're just gone. Some people say the monster that ate the camera was different. It looked smaller. They really never did a good follow-up on that movie. So, according to the people who made the movie, it was an alien. An alien that landed in the water and gave birth or something like that. I got what you meant. What if you're Shazam shirt and we're trapped in a building with the monster? I have more than one. I'll get another one. And was paid a ton at T. COVID Paradox was really bad, and the way they connected it was really stupid. And no one even knew it existed until Super Bowl Sunday. It was released on Super Bowl Sunday, and they let you know about it an hour before Super Bowl game happened. That's how much faith they had. Skyline. Yeah, that's why he got his money and he was leaving. Yeah, no. All right, guys. Oh, I've gone way over what I meant to go. If as a former military man, what would you have done, William? Leave. You know what I would have done? Exactly what the military people in the movie did. Get the hell out of there. Listen, you put up the best fight you can, but once you don't have strategic position, and all you're going to do is get everyone around you killed, at some point in time, you live to fight another day. You know. All right, guys, that's going to be it. I've gone, oh, wow, 2 hours. It was supposed to be a semi-overnighter, not a full damn thing. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of your, whatever left of your weekend. Kind of technically, the weekend's over, but the next time I see you guys, I will probably do a little bit of streaming outside the theater, but next time I see you guys, I will have seen Flash, and I will let you know if it's great. I will tell you everything that I am allowable to tell you without spoiling for you, and I will see you tomorrow night. Get my outro going. I actually got a compliment on my outro. I like my outro. See you guys later.